Good morning. I'm Rihanna Basor. It's day one of my Writing Emily Dickinson project. I'm starting this project to do a limited series in real time of a 90-day development process of my first commissioned one-woman show. It's very exciting. I worked on a one-woman show for myself last year on a different topic, and that is still in development, but this is a commissioned work, and therefore it has a very specific container. So I thought it would be perfect to share with you. I'm so glad you're here. Emily Dickinson and we go way back. I first played her, a long time ago, let's just say that. And I was able to do this really unusual piece written by a local poet here in San Diego. And we went to New York and we did it, we brought it back. It really became a communion with her spirit. And from there, as her friend, well, I don't actually think they knew each other, but as Henry David Thoreau might have said, like the ripples in the pond, from there I have touched on her and her work and her life many times in the years since. And I feel like she's one of those special connections that come to us in our life to understand ourselves and our world better. And I'm just so appreciative that it's Emily Dickinson. I've always loved her, but until she picked me, I don't think she's one of the famous women that I would have picked for myself. So it's just very serendipitous and lovely, and I'm so excited for this process. I'm so glad you're here. I have a little bit of a structure that I'll do each morning, and then I'll jump into writing, and then I'll check back in at the end. You're welcome to write with me or put this on in the background or fast forward. It really is up to you. So today is day one, December 1st, 2025, and I will be outlining my piece. I have done some 20-minute versions of an Emily conversation, storytelling really, I would say, in the past, and they were recorded in the pandemic. So later this week, I'll be watching those and seeing what my organic flow was, because I always kept those conversational, very loose benchmarks. And today I just really want to revisit some storytelling and creative writing structures that my excellent teacher, Steve Alcorn, gave me, to see what's in my subconscious at this point. It is a Scorpio season. I am aligning some of my work with astrology, so you will see that there is a certain amount of woo in my process. It really just brings me so much joy and alignment. So please indulge me if that's not your thing. There is a Scorpio something that I can't remember right now, and that's an excellent opportunity to just dig deep. Scorpio loves to like pick up that rock and look at all the grubs and dirt underneath. So it's an excellent time to go deep into the subconscious and see what I can bring out of there at this rough early time. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Goodness, I'm talking a lot. I probably won't talk this much every morning, but we'll see. I'm a chatterer. So I feel excited. Obviously, I am an enthusiastic person. I woke up thrilled to make this video, and I'm just so glad you're here, frankly. I think it's gonna be really fun. My intention for today is to create that outline. I have some party friends here, a little citrine, which is golden yellow, good for my Leo sun, also great for creativity. I have a little, I can never remember what this is called, so I'll look it up and we can see it tomorrow. But it's a pyramid of a crystal that is supposed to clarify energy, get rid of bad energy. So I like to think that it is gathering and shooting it out into the world. I can always use some of that. And then I like to keep my little rose quartz in my heart-shaped dish. It says kindred spirit. This is just for love. We always need to bring love into everything we do. And then I thought I'd write just for today, keep it easy. My little writing ritual is going to be to light my writing candle. So I'm going to do that now. I'm sure I'll get fancier and simpler as my moods wax and wane. But for today, I have some little crystals and we're going to light my candle. So yay, hooray. That's if I can light it. I have not at this point. Yeah, these new matches are so interesting because I don't want to put that there actually. I they're like green matches, and I don't find that I am able to use them as easily as I would like, so please forgive me. I used to have lots of lovely lighters that worked until they didn't. And I had a spiritual teacher who said that was because my life force was weak, so gosh, I hope that isn't true, but they light a little easier since I worked with her, so fingers crossed on that. All right, I'm gonna focus my energy, friends. Excuse me for a second. There's also like a really lovely, that's not the right word, I feel lovely. Outside it's just a little bit of a chaos energy. Seems like maybe someone's not feeling well in the building across the street. So I'm just gonna put in my noise canceling headphones. It's something that I find really helps me focus. My coach Chase Jarvis taught me that, and it really has made a big difference. So I will continue to breathe and, probably knowing me, giggle and scratch on my paper because, oh, P.S., I am usually old school. So I have these like fabulous fountain pen, disposable fountain pens, and old school yellow paper, and that is what we're gonna outline on today. I have my computer out for reference, just because I have my notes from Steve there, but at least today we're gonna kick it old school style. Once I free my phones from their tangles. All right, my friends, I'm gonna jump in, probably right about 20 minutes since it's the first one and it's a little more tasky. I like a Pomodoro approach. 30 minutes is too many, an hour is terrifying. But 20 minutes, I find I can keep my butt in this chair pretty successfully usually. And if it goes longer, it goes longer. If it doesn't, it's not gonna go probably, I mean to say, it's not going to go shorter. If it goes longer, hooray, it is not necessary. All right. On that scrambly note, I'll see you on the other side. right, my friends, I am back. I did not think that that was going to be such a journey. Oh my God. I was really caught off guard by how emotional it was. I don't think it'll be this emotional every day, but just trying to imagine or sketch out Emily's journey really moved me. And I'm just so grateful, you know, to tap into this mysterious, brilliant woman, enigmatic woman, and just fill her life with imaginings and resonances. So I'm feeling just really grateful and excited. One thing that I discovered was that I don't have an antagonist in the play. I'm really not certain if other characters will show up. I mean, obviously they will be referenced, but will I inhabit them? Will they be voiced? I don't know. I really like things to be simple, but in using this structure, which is a fiction structure, I think from screenplays, I need an antagonist, and I don't have one right now. I don't know who the villain of Emily's story is. I had been spending so much time thinking about her flaw in anticipation of how it might counter what she actually wants, that I didn't really think about like who's actively holding her back. I have an idea now. It changes it a little bit. And then it was also really interesting because the theme, I kept coming up with all of these negative themes. It is not this is not that. And I know you can't play a negative. I know that spirit doesn't respond to a negative. So I knew there was no creative fruit in making my theme a negative. Lost is not forgotten. Well, then what is it, right? Like it felt very general and it felt vague. And honestly, a little bit like weak and letting myself off the hook. A little lame, actually. So I finally came up with some stuff, but it took me a while to get there. And I am certainly not married to it. I have a feeling all of these are just a first pass because they do not feel like slam dunks. I definitely got to a place that felt really powerful and resonant, and some new personal access points to get into the story that I'm surprised and excited about. But it's a good first pass, you know, it's a good page of writing. You can hear my wild beast out there letting me know it's almost time to feed him. And so my takeaway is that no one writing session is the be all end all. It's day 1 of 30, and that's just for the first draft. We'll be working on the edits in January, and then there'll be rehearsals in February. And so really, the script is not really locked until February 28th. I think it's a 28th year, 2026. So February 28th, it doesn't need to be locked for 89 more days. So this is a first pass. It's a strong first pass. There's a lot of really interesting ideas and emotions and motors going on. So I'm interested to see how it filters through in the time for the next session. And then of course, what develops over this process. Okay, yammer. Tomorrow's intention, I will have watched or have a transcript of that performance that I did in 2020, 100 million years ago, the before times. And I will look at what those milestones were, because I didn't really do milestones in the story the way I thought. I had forgotten that this was an emotional plotting device. Well, he would be mad at me for that. It is a story-based outline. It is not a plot-based outline. So there's a few more like kind of plot point based milestones to be garnered from that piece. And I remember when I did it, I didn't feel like that was the be all end all version of it. As I performed it, it was solid and it was strong, but it wasn't like when I was like, oh yeah, that's the story, man. So I will have checked that out, and I will be reflecting on just some signposts to begin to flesh out, because this is really like pretty podgy and like mushy still, and I really am hoping to get to a place where I'm just coloring between the lines, because with this 30-day structure, I don't know what else to do. I'm really scared, you guys. So tomorrow I will be matching the emotional outline with the plot outline of that previous thing to see what might happen. So if you guys have a project that you're working on, please share it in the comment below. I would love to hear about it. And if you want updates on this project, please visit my website for my media company, Ms. Understood Media, MIZ Understood Media.com. And you can always find out all the things I'm up to, RihannaBassour.com. Thanks so much, and see you tomorrow, friends. Bye.